Today is the 13th of October 2020. My name is Kwame Owusu Danso. Welcome to today's edition of Good Morning Africa. Welcome to the News Power Review segment here on your number one station, Pan-African Television. I'd like to extend my greetings to everyone who's watching me this morning from wherever it is that you're watching me from. Thank you very kindly for always choosing us, and thank you for always spending your mornings with us. It's really exciting to know that you spend your mornings with us, quality mornings for that matter. Thank you very kindly for always supporting us. Now, this is the News Power Review segment where we try to deal with all the issues that are making waves in the media circles, on social media, on other tabloids, etc. And we select a few of them that are very topical, and then we touch on those subject matters here on the show. This morning, we're going to be touching on an African story, which is very crucial because of the worldwide condemnation that singular act received and the subsequent response from government in respect of addressing that particular issue. I'm talking about SARS. And, I'm sure you know that SARS is like a special, force against armed robbery and other crimes in Nigeria. So I think it was specially set up in 1992, I believe, for the purposes of addressing some of these challenges. But they overstepped their bounds. They were usurping their powers. They were, getting into the noses of people and the eyes of people, stopping people and searching them without any cause whatsoever. So, it raised a lot of eyebrows, and people were particularly not enthused about their mode of operation. And so there was worldwide condemnation. Some celebrities in Nigeria took to their Facebook pages, Twitter, Instagram, whatnot, to, spread the message of the hashtag End SARS Now, End SARS Now. And it came in the wake of a gentleman who was brutally slain by one of the, these SARS guys who just shot the gentleman and things like that. So there was that public uproar, which has led to the disbandment of SARS. But the question is, has SARS really been disbanded or they've been redeployed? Because if you look at the 5 key pointers, it appears that they have not been fully disbanded. They've just been redeployed, or in a very layperson's language, reassigned to other departments within the same police force. So it begs the question as to whether or not there is that political commitment, to listen to the plight of the people and immediately address their genuine concerns. Because what they are saying is not just about disbanding them and redeploying them. It's also about ensuring that persons who have suffered in the hands of these people must be dealt with in accordance with the law. So these are some of the nuances that are arising in respect of this matter, consequent upon which, some justice will be important to give. NBC's promise to abolish double track unrealistic, shameless. MPP says that. Arrest MP killers at all costs or be sacked, Ekufuado tells IGP. Ghana faces 12% youth unemployment with 50% underdeployment. The business analyst reported this particular story. Now, off the back of the murder of the Infantiman Member of Parliament, Hayford Kwanzaa, the president is telling the IGP to arrest the perpetrators at all costs or be sacked. And I've also listened to some members of parliament who are calling for absolute protection for members of parliament. We're going to be marrying all of these issues here and find out whether or not the members of parliament who are calling for some level of protection for them really finds expression in logic. So we're going to be touching on all of these issues here and more. Let me remind you that the WhatsApp number is very active. It's 02608465539. And we are also streaming live on Facebook, facebook.com/Pan-African Television, and on YouTube as well. I've been joined in the studios by Gabriela Tete, who is a lead communicator with the NDC. Good morning to you, Gabriela. And our very own, the indefatigable, the lioness, Hajia Hamdatu Ibrahim, who is the former chairperson of the CPP who will be coming back stronger and stronger, and I know that I feel it, that very soon, very, very soon, not the Jesus Christ kind of soon, like this one, very soon, things will change, even for, for better. Hadia, good morning to you.
Good morning.
And thank you very, very much for your time. I am impressed, to be honest. Beyond the fact that you are, you were the leader of the CPP, right? You have still, regardless of that defeat, consistently done things to favor the party. You are supporting the party, you're working hard for the party, you are appearing on programs in the name of the party, representing the party fully. Many would have said, in fact, including me, perhaps, I would have simply said that, Charlie, the way I suffered for this party and they disappointed me, let me just stay somewhere and sleep after all. What? But you are not doing that. What is the secret?
Kwame.
Yeah.
Is that part of the topic we are going to discuss?
No, it's not. It's not part of it. But sometimes we just have to.
Let's say good morning.
Sniff the issues out small.
Let's say good morning to our cherished viewers out there, and then my sister, and your good self.
Yeah.
And then I was in Kumasi.
You're in Kumasi?
Yes, for my aunties. My brother who lost the mother.
Yeah.
If you recall, I was in Kumasi to bury them.
Yes.
He came from Germany after this COVID, so we had to go and do some small adwa.
Absolutely.
I got there, then my own cousin also died.
Hey.
Even the funeral is today, but me, I did whatever I was supposed to do on Sunday and Monday.
All right.
Life must go on.
Absolutely.
Kwame, you see, people will just look at me and judge me. They don't know me. I've been in this party when I was like this. So what will put me off? It will be difficult. I was telling somebody that the way you are trying to draw a circle to get me out, but I'll draw a circle to get all of you in. Because if it's anything at all, after an election, internal election, and maybe you lost a position that you want, and then you say, because of that, I'm sitting in the house. I'm not going to help the party. Is it because of the position that you are in the party or you love the party? I'm proving people wrong. And you see, people are still doing it to annoy me to go, where? How can you come and sack a landlord?
Have you heard this one before?
Have you heard that before?
Have you heard this one?
Me, I'm a landlord in CPP.
Anyway, so that's Hajam that too for you.
This thing. So,
Papa. Which one? The prepaid or the?
Oh, you see, the issue is that prepaid, no. If it's light off, you don't get line. And then the other one too. So it's all the issue is that me obotanting.
Okay.
I'm constant like an audience. So me literature. If something happens in one's life, that is where you see the person's commitment.
Yeah.
And the honesty in which the person does his or her things.
Somebody told me something yesterday. The person said that if you find me running, there are two things that can happen. Either somebody will chase after me to come and ask me what is wrong with me, or the person who will be chasing me would actually be the one to harm me.
To harm, yeah.
So there are two things.
So you see.
So they can't chase you out.
No. Hey, you see, I've been telling people I'm a working encyclopedia of the Convention People's Party. Institutional memory there. You see, you cannot throw it, discard it. You do it at your own detriment. So as for me, I'm in CPP.
Right.
I'll go to TV. I'll go to radio. Maybe if it's your central committee, you've sacked me. You can take your central committee. Me too. I have my own space that I've occupied in this Ghana politics. That one you can't take it from me.
Okay. Saka just walked in.
So
late.
if you say anything at me,
Saka again walked in late. Saka walked in late. So the first topic, Saka will not be part of that conversation for your punishment. Gabriela.
I knew very well that you were just doing this to make sure Saka comes before we.
No, so that I will punish you. I don't want to become.
You did the same thing.
Yes, no.
You're asking me certain questions before Saka has just.
A good morning to.
Who accepts your good morning? Who accepts your good morning?
As you can see, ECPP.
By the way, let me say a special good morning to my friend Hanan, CEO of Buffer Stock, and your special aide. Basid, I trust you guys are doing well, and I know you are watching the morning show this morning. Also to Samir Uku and all my friends, John Kuma, and all the other guys. Haji Ahumu, good morning to you. I trust you are doing well.
Good morning is going only one way.
Yeah,
please balance it.
I won't balance it.
Because Kwame has chosen Ajaumu.
Yeah,
for the West Central seat.
Ajaumu is my friend. You know. So
I'm saying.
Why? I don't want to tell you.
It's not fair.
Are you not here when you have been mentioning Alhaji Sedu? Alhaji Sedu is an NDC.
Alhaji Baba Sedu is
NDC.
Like, mention more NPP names than NDC.
Hey, also mention them.
I've supported him with the friends list.
The matter chop too. Good morning to you, the First Lady of the Republic of Ghana, Madame Rebecca Kufu, and Madame Fremo Pare. Good morning to you as well.
That's my mother.
To all the.
I have another mother.
Good morning to you, the incoming MP for Owusu Senya West, Madame Gisela Tete. Good morning. You chop that thing, that thing they will chop simple.
Oh, but under.
Under I know.
Under is a serious.
Oh, Madame Lodina. Oh, Madame Lodina. Mama is my mother too. You know. Good morning. Like they command me to do.
I've added my last week answers and my today present sorry to one show.
You matter.
But Lodina Mama is not contesting anything. Why are you saying you should greet her?
She greeted Madame Rebecca.
Yeah, because she's the first lady.
So okay, good morning to the former first lady. Incoming first lady. Madame Lodina Bahama.
What is Mr. last name? You can add that one too.
Oh my goodness. What a beautiful morning. When day? But how do
you see, you can't face the camera and lie.
How do you
me, I won't face the camera and lie.
How do you find it about stubborn? Can't tell them so stubborn. But I stubborn.
Oh, but she's an iron lady. She has to be. But not.
But you understand
You see? And you want me to face the camera and lie?
So Matters Day, we don't go.
Matters are rising.
But Saka, do you know CPP has collapsed?
Yeah.
You see, you see, if you do that,
it
putting me.
No,
you see,
no.
Then I have to vacate my seat as I'm sitting here.
No.
Hadia is not getting something.
Yeah.
You see,
what am I not getting?
We have special interest in CPP.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
And if you don't begin to talk about some of these ills, it will never develop.
Exactly.
So we need to let the people know that the thing know to go well. You remember is our personal friend.
Yeah.
At least it's part of the executive.
He's not just a personal. He's a
brother.
Yeah.
You know, you remember Moses and Ben.
And Hadia is a sister.
Hadia is a sister. Hadia, you're a sister.
And Kochi Pratt is a brother.
It's a father.
Yes, that, I mean.
It's a father. You know, so, you know, that the team know the go. Gabriela them spoil your party.
But this conversation, we had it some time ago.
Anyway,
about 2-3 weeks.
Charlie, SARS ban. President Buhari pledges extensive police reforms. Gabi, do you think this man can actually do this? But for the involvement of the celebrities and the worldwide condemnation, I'm not sure, Charlie. Because almost all the top celebrities were part of it. Westgate, Davido, Olamide, Tiwa Savage, Burna Boy, DJ Ikul, Mr. Easy, like all of the big Nigerian stars were part of this struggle. And I like one thing that they said. They said that they can no longer confuse us and disunite us with religion and tribe. Right? The youth of this nation now has decided to fight for the future of the generations yet unborn. And I found that to be very profound. I wish Ghanaians would be thinking this way, that it doesn't matter whether you belong, because I'm sure all the other people who were part of this particular struggle have their own political, leanings. But when it came to a matter that called for some level of unison, they all rallied behind each other and they decided to forcefully put across their issue, which has yielded some very positive results. So in the wake of this, first of all, what lessons must we draw from this, as Africans, really? And whether or not the disbandment of SARS also has some repercussions going forward, because you know the reason why armed robbery has gone down a little bit in Nigeria is because of the presence of SARS. So yes, you can be talking about their negatives, but the positives, in fact, the negatives may outweigh the positives, but the positives are equally very crucial to the survival of the peace that they've been enjoying currently, which is why most of them now came to Ghana to come and misbehave, and then Ghana to Kofi Boache stopped them at some point. So it has some ramifications no matter how you look at it.
It wasn't just Kofi Boache, even under President Mills.
Yeah, shoot to kill. That shoot to kill. Yes, solid.
People back into a bit of history.
Yeah,
the reason why Nigerians are not content with the current reforms being proposed is because there's a bit of history to what's going on. You know, in 2015, there was a young Nigerian who took to Twitter to post his experience with SARS, and tweeted that there should be an end to SARS. So he started a hashtag campaign, End SARS, Special Anti-Robbery Squad of the Nigerian Police Force. Subsequently, other people who have had experiences with SARS also started sharing those experiences online, and that started a worldwide exposure of the atrocities being perpetuated by the Special Anti-Robbery Squad. Issues of a whole anti-robbery squad itself being accused of extortion. And it was actually extortion that led to the young man who was killed 2 weeks ago. Issues of unlawful arrest, issues of torture, of theft, of humiliation at the hands of police officials. So that sparked some interest in having SARS banned, but it was more or less like a quiet movement underground. Subsequently, the Nigerian government in 2016, I think, had some reforms made to SARS. At the time, SARS was being run in Abuja by the centralized police system.
Yes.
The reforms then was, okay, in that case, we should decentralize SARS and have the federal commanders be responsible for this particular unit of the police force, so that any issues of reporting mishandling by citizens of Nigeria comes to the attention of the federal police commanders, and then they can easily deal with those issues and having to go through the normal police system that people can decide to just throw away somewhere. So that was the first time that they had reforms to SARS. It did not stop the extortion, it did not stop the thievery, it did not stop the attacks. It continued unabated. So there was another reform to it that came to look at what punitive actions do you put in place against policemen and women who are responsible for some of these atrocities. That also did not address the issue because the challenges with SARS continued. Then the people of Nigeria, those who started the media campaign, asked that in that case, the whole thing should now be banned completely. And they still were not getting that mileage they needed to actually ban the thing in its totality, because no government wanted to do away with this special police squad. They served a purpose in that somehow, because of their high-handedness, it also put as you already mentioned, it sort of reduced the numbers of armed robbery cases in these states.
Yeah.
But there's also a human rights issue accompanying it. Until last week, when the young gentleman was shot in front of Westgate Hotel and his SUV, which was a Lexus, driven away by a SARS official. From reports that I have read online, there are a lot of cases where sometimes they stop a vehicle, they search you, and just the mere fact that you are holding an iPhone, they can decide that they'll harass you, they'll molest you. There have even been instances where young women have been raped, just so they can get away and live their free lives. This led to serious demonstrations over the past week across Nigeria.
Bloody demonstrations, actually.
Yes, they killed one gentleman.
Yeah.
And it was the same police squad now reacting to a crowd asking for them to be banned. So they also felt threatened by the actions of the numbers and also went the way they did and injured 4 people. There are about 5 different states in Nigeria that have recorded demonstrations and police violence in response to those demonstrations. Now the IGP has supposedly banned or dissolved SARS. But for a police unit that has over the years, since 2015, and this is a 6 years period, had so many reforms this past few years, trying to get it back on track, and still having these cases of killing people and extorting from people and raping people, it doesn't serve the purpose of law enforcement and keeping law and order. So the Nigerian people who are still protesting are actually asking for a total ban. They just don't want to see this unit in existence. The IGP has banned SARS. He's banned the Special Technical Force. There's a special investigative unit accompanying the SARS. That's also been dissolved. But these men have now been placed into other departments.
That's the danger.
Across
the other divisions.
But if you are an individual who has a tendency to act against the law, even if you yourself are the law enforcement, I don't think that shifting you from one department to another department actually solves it. Perhaps there are some people who are looking at having these people leave the force entirely and do what? Because if you let them exit the force, looking at what they themselves, they become armed robbers themselves.
Yeah.
And then because they know the law and they understand the law, they know how to beat the law.
I think that the calls by many, I mean, some of them were specific, and SARS, but others were stop police brutality in Nigeria.
I think that really is what should be the main.
Yes.
And the initial
Absolutely.
case, the initial reforms that they had, this report going straight to the representative of the IGP at the federal level, the federal police commanders. I think that the police commanders at that level should themselves have much more punitive measures put in place to ensure that police officers who are caught in this system are heavily dealt with. If you let them go out of the system, they can become something else. Prosecute them, have arrest, prosecute them, and if they are found guilty, you also put them in jail.
Absolutely.
Because the law is the law, and it must stand sacrosanct, irrespective of whether I'm the one enforcing the law or somebody else is enforcing the law. Recently in Ghana, this past few months, we've had cases where the Ghana Police Service has had to get people out of the police system because they're found to be either engaged in some armed robbery, some were drunk on the job, all kinds of issues. I think that about 3 weeks ago, about 18 of them were dismissed from the police service.
Yeah.
We also have our own system in place through the PIPS system to ensure that whatever accusations or allegations are brought to the fore about police officers is also investigated and handled properly. It's about making sure that things come to a logical conclusion and justice is served to the ones who have lost something. But when you rape a person, they lose something about themselves.
No, absolutely, yeah.
It's violation of even their psyche.
The psyche, yeah.
So to have young girls, just because they are using iPhones, you don't ask whether their parents bought it for them or how they managed to acquire iPhones. And even if they are holding iPhones,
so what?
Why should it be your business? You chose to go and become a policeman. This person chose to be something else and got an iPhone. That is no basis to harass someone because they have a certain life, they have a certain car, and they live a certain way. Yours is when you see armed robbers, and you've already been given the profile of armed robbers and how they move and how they operate.
Yeah.
They should be your target.
You remember my preamble also had in it the lessons that can be drawn from the experiences that are happening in Nigeria currently. And I asked that question deliberately because of the mode of recruitment and the mode of training, into those systems. Now, if you look at, for instance, in Ghana, quite recently, there was this policeman who was arrested because he was involved in an armed robbery attack, So I'm not saying that all policemen, you know, are bad, but also equally there are some
who are very good.
So what should be the guiding tool, if you will, for lack of better expression, in order that we can ensure that there's some level of sanity in the system that we are operating? Because if you have, because we entrust our security and our lives in the hands of these people, and these very people are the ones who are harming us. And I'm linking this to the mode of, you know, recruitment and training.
Service.
Yeah, for
I agree with you, especially when we have people who are like political activists, diehard political activists recruited into the police, and that's something that I always speak against.
Irrespective of which political party, correct?
Irrespective of which political party, because when you have people who are indoctrinated politically, I always say that looking at how our election system sometimes can get tense, when push comes to shove, the loyalty of these people
will be to the party.
Will not be to state,
no,
but to party.
Absolutely.
And that is very dangerous. In the recruitment processes, it's difficult to tell whose ideology lies where. And we also don't want to stigmatize or to be seen as being what's the word? Segregation, just because somebody applies segregation, just because someone's political ideology, you want to use political ideology to stop something.
Yes.
You know, in police recruitment, especially here in Ghana, we have to do a whole lot to minimize the role of the people that go through protocol. That protocol listing has to be either minimized to just about 5%, and that's even being charitable, or should be really scrutinized. The people come through protocol should really be scrutinized, and then if there's any political doctrine in them, you have to conscientize them about the role that they are coming to play. Irrespective of which, whether it's the police, the military, the fire service, because in election day, we use not just the police, we use people from immigration, we use people from customs, we use fire officers. So as much as possible, we limit the role of protocol list and then let them go through the real process so that the police administration can also find quality personnel in a pool and not be limited to what protocols they are given.
Okay.
And also in the police training, Ghana police is well over a century old because it started from a colonial system. Over years, they go for training both domestically and outside. They learn best practices. So I can only envisage that they've already improved on their training manuals in terms of modern policing. So in that regard, they can only just get better at the training manuals and then the kind of skills that they impart to their men. You know, recently I read an article that COP Kofi Boachi was giving a speech to officers that were passing out. And he mentioned that the new police system, if you are, what was the expression he used? The police system is ensuring fairness or something like that. But what I got out of the point he was making was that the aim of the Ghana police is to make sure that they produce cadets, men and women, whose focus is on the country Ghana and not on anything else. And that for any bad nuts that come through the system will find a way of getting you out because it will expose you one way or the other. And this, what is happening in Nigeria, I think is just a way that the system exposes the bad ones. But the question is, what is the police administration in Nigeria doing about the ones that are exposed? And then also, if they were making their findings public and the punishment for their officers public, I think that it will serve as a deterrent to other officers who are engaged in these kind of practices and also allay the fears of the Nigerian public that something is being done about it.
Right. Thank you very, very, very much, Gabriela. Now, let me tell you something. Let me give you very good news this morning. Dr. Eben, CEO of Shekina Herbal, is visiting Kumasi tomorrow and on Thursday tomorrow and on Thursday. And he's going to be working, pardon? He's going to be working from Kumasi on Kumasi Amakum EP Church on Wednesday and on Thursday. So please try and find your way there, Dr. Shekina Herbal. Actually, let me just say.
Is it a free screening or some distance?
No, so it's he has a hospital.
Oh, okay.
So he normally visits the regions and things like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, but on Wednesday and on Thursday, he's going to be in Kumasi Amakum EP Church. So make your way there and go and check your system. Make sure everything is in order. Let me now come to you, Hajia Hamdatu, for your take on this subject matter, please.
This thing, I think Gabriela has spoken
has
about
dealt with it. Yeah, absolutely.
Only that what I want to say is about one's commitment when you are in a particular job. Not just the police. You go to the hospitals, you meet a nurse, as if they don't know the reason why they are called nurses.
Should I mention a hospital?
You see, so it is about the person's commitment to the job that he or she is in, like journalism, every profession. But you see, when you look at the Nigerian case, whether we like it or not, there were some positive things that they did in Nigeria. I happen to be watching some videos. You see criminals in military attack. They were arrested, and now they'll be telling their own story, how they got the military attacks and everything. But as for police brutality, it must cease, not just in Nigeria, but in any part of this world. Let me say the word. Look at what happened to Joe Flo, what happened with the police, sophisticated him and he died. Later on, people were even running away from a person who was part of the criminal activities. When he came to the shop to buy items, people were saying that this man was part of the people who killed. So I think police are supposed to protect life and property. Police are supposed to be our friends. That is why, for me, people saying that we shouldn't have a barracks for the police, I'm of it, because they should live in a community and the people will know them, they know the people. And then even some crime or maybe criminal activities will sort of reduce, because they know that this house, a policeman lives in this house. Maybe if there's something, the policeman can just come. But I think what really happened in Nigeria and the whole world is this is the hypocrisy about the West that I don't like. Canada, America, condemning it. What is not happening in America? They're killing us every day. They're killing us every day. So they shouldn't behave as if what has happened in Nigeria, they are crying for us. What is it?
They should leave us to cry.
They should leave us to cry our own cry. Because where situations are happening I'm not saying what happened in Nigeria is just, but they shouldn't pretend as if, as for anything happening in Africa, it's like it has never happened before. You understand my point? That is where I'm coming from. But I think if the Nigerian authority are saying they're going to disband, as Gabriela said, if you disband, I think if you are in Abeokuta, they should take you to Maduguri. If you are here, they should just separate them. Nigeria is a huge country. So that maybe if I'm with Saka or Gabriela in maybe Lagos, before you realize I'm at Kebbi State, or is it Kebbi, how they call it?
Yeah, now and
you
see, you have lived there.
You spread them. I didn't live, I only visited. Okay. You spread them. Because Oyo Delta, Port Harcourt, they have so many places. Gombe and Bauchi, Maduguri, Kano, Kaduna, you spread them. And then you should be watching their activities because of their track record. Don't just leave them and say, we'll punish them by sending them to this place. And then those who are found culpable of raping, of killing, should be punished. Because if there's no punishment, people will say, oh, even if I do it, what they will do to me is to send me to a place that I don't like. And I even go and do worse things there. Because awareness creation, most of the places in Nigeria, they don't have access to what we are doing here. No. Or some of the big towns in Nigeria. And then maybe if it's a sergeant caught in an act, the person should be demoted.
Absolutely.
You see, if you're demoted, it's a sign of punishment. Even in your community, you not even be happy. You start to behave well. So for me, police officers should try as much as they can. We're talking about the way they are recruited. Even if you are the chairman of CPP or MPP or NDC, and you have the love of Ghana at heart, and you are employed as a police officer, you should see Ghana first before your political party. That's why I'll say.
Thank you very much, Ajay Amdatu. Saka, I'm not allowing you to have a badge. You came in late.
Just 1 minute on
for your punishment.
No. You let me have just 1 minute. Just 1 minute.
It's your friend.
Oh, thank you very much, Kwame. I
1 minute.
yeah, we have. I mean, 1 minute is really not 1 minute. You see, I have seen what is happening in Nigeria. Let me differ a little bit from what I just said. That Canada and Europe and other, Western states are also talking about this whole thing. It's the Nigerians in those states that are also demonstrating. And indeed.
No, you didn't get me.
No, I got that.
No, you didn't.
If we have a Nigerian in Canada who is demonstrating that SARS is causing havoc in Nigeria, it draws the attention of the government of Canada. And then they also put their mouth, so to speak, in the matter. And I don't think that there is anything wrong with that. And for me, I think that we should not overkill this matter. We should not create the impression as if SARS never achieved anything. It's only there.
No, it achieved something. We said.
Yeah, I said the impression should not be created, not only here, but even from those demonstrating, because we have notorious criminals,
serious one,
armed robbers in Nigeria, and indeed, if you look at the name SARS, what is it? It's an acronym. Yeah. That means Special Anti-Robbery Squad. So, as the robbers are armed.
Did you watch the video of is it a professor, a lady, who said she was raped by armed robbers in Nigeria?
Yeah,
I have the video.
So she
was telling her story.
If one thing we should know, if you are an armed robber, it means you are a cocaine dealer.
You are a killer.
You are a killer. You are a murderer.
No,
because because an armed robber can do anything. Once you are an armed robber, you can maim, you can kill, you can rape, you can do anything for whatever that you are seeking for. And for that matter, when you are dealing with such people, you must go after them, no matter the consequence. Look, if today we do not have SARS in Nigeria, I don't think that even somebody will be even confident to travel to Nigeria, because you would have met your fate in the hands of these criminals. But the Nigerian government decided that they will bring this anti-robbery squad, such anti-robbery squad, so that they will deal ruthlessly with these miscrimes. And today, we also know, even in Ghana here, I remember, we all know the military regimes, the AFRC, the PNDC and all that. When they came, people were, some people were actually clamoring for
let the blood flow.
For the blood to flow. But you see, they did something good, but the fallout,
that is true,
is what the problem is. And what we should be asking the Nigerian government to do is that anti-robbery squad must be reformed, or those who perpetrate crime within that squad must be brought to book. And I'm sure if we continue to do that and not just ask that they should dissolve it, and what is the alternative? If they should dissolve that squad now, what is the alternative? And you need people like that. Those people, the hardcore guys who can face the armed robbers, who do not fear death. And such people are not, you won't get them. They are not common in the system. And those who really can chase the armed robbers to their root, they are not common in the system. And those are the people that are also liable, that are also likely, to engage in such sordid acts. And for me, I think that that squad is okay, but the activities of some few miscrimes within them is what should, arrest our attention, and not just to say that they should disband it. If they disband it today,
but they have done it.
I'm saying that, well, they have not done it. They have not disbanded it completely. Maybe they are doing some reforms within it. And people are saying that when you remove the person from SARS, you should not transfer him to another place and all that. You should not sack. You can't sack the person.
Well, if you sack them, it will be worse.
You can't sack the person and all that. So for me, Kwame, I believe that what is happening in Nigeria, people have taken it too high. Those people who rape others whilst in uniform as SARS members, even if you sack them and they go home,
they'll continue to
you will continue their rape. What should they do? Adventure. They should jail them. So it is about ensuring that if you are a minister, if you are a member of the SARS, if you are a common man walking in the street and you commit a crime, you should be brought to book. And not to say that, Kwame, you are here as a host of Pan-African TV morning show. You commit a crime, then somebody says that we should stop all morning show hosts from, you know...
comparing mangoes with bananas.
No, it is about the fact that you have committed a crime and must be punished. The rest should continue with their job. So if we believe that the work of SARS is so important to the people of Nigeria and even the West Africa sub-region, why not allow them to continue? And in case of even the selection of those who form the SARS, we should think about all those things. People who have gone through the mill, people whose professional capability is not in doubt. You should thoroughly, select people whose moral background or aptitude is the best. But if we just put anybody at all and then put them, in such sensitive position,
okay,
they will use armed robbery as a shield and then continue their criminal ways.
Ogbefi Egenti says, Kwame, with due respect, who told you SARS reduced armed robbery in Nigeria? I beg, SARS are criminals. And it beats me, no media house is talking about the way Biafrans, about the Biafrans and the way they are being killed in Nigeria. This Biafran thing.
Is he saying that the SARS never introduced robbery?
That's what he's saying.
No, we cannot believe that.
He sends this one in from Nigeria, I'm sure. Okay, let's proceed. Arrest MP killers at all cost or be sacked, Akufo-Addo tells IGP. In the wake of this, MPs are also asking for police protection. Saka, let me start with you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kwame. I wasn't happy when the IGP announced a ransom of 20 million for those with information. 20,000 Ghana cedis for those with information to come out. Because I see it to be woefully inadequate. That a patri 20,000 should be put, for the life of such an eminent statesman. I was expecting something huge than that. Something as huge as even, 200,000 Ghana cedis. In all Ghana cedis, 2 billion. So that it will force even the robbers themselves
to own up.
To betray themselves. You see, the monetary reward for the information leading to the arrest of these criminals should be so huge that some of the robbers will betray themselves. Some will come and then betray others so that they can get the money. Because why are these people doing the robbery? They are doing the robbery because they need the money. They want money at all costs, and they don't. It does not matter however they get the money. And if they can get the money through ransom, they would like to offer themselves. So when I heard the 20 million, is it 20 million? Patri, 20,000. That is 200 million. 200 million. I knew that. No, I mean, we are not serious.
We won't get anywhere.
We won't get anywhere. And I'm happy that the president have come out to say that the IGP should arrest these people who should get to the bottom of this thing, or the IGP is fired. I think that is the way to go. Let me tell you, I mean, as for crime, we all know that we have had crimes in the past. And most especially when we are talking about armed robbery and killing and murder and all that, the our opponent have that proclivity of always want to play politics with it. But you see, if you play politics with a serious matter as this, you will get nowhere. I actually believe that no matter which government is in power, armed robbery will continue. Armed robbery will continue. But the government that must be able to ensure that we bring it to the barest minimum. Because we have all grown up, I mean, we've seen armed robbery, even in the UK, US, and all that, to even a large scale. But the most important thing is that we should make that business or that venture a high-risk one for them. A high-risk one in the sense that once they commit it, they know very well that government has 100 or 90% chances of getting them. And that also includes the community they live, the community, our various communities and institutions. If you are here and you see people gallivanting around and whose identity are not known but very suspicious, you should be able to report to the security apparatus. If you are in your village and you see a stranger or strangers hovering around aimlessly, knowing, and you don't know what they are doing, you can report to the nearest security officers so that they investigate. If you go to Europe, Kwame, and you are moving around the street, you would think that you are just moving around the street, but the security apparatus would have known that there is a stranger in this particular area moving around the street, because somebody, a neighbor who doesn't know you, would report you, and then they will in secret investigate whether or not you are a genuine person who just came or you are a criminal. But Ghana here, the opposite is the case. We don't take all these things into consideration. We ourselves think that it is the police work to know everything. It is the police work to be everywhere. The police should play God, omnipresent, so that the police will know exactly, and we also know our police to civilian ratio. That is very paltry. It is not up to the standard that is demanded of us. And therefore, it needs a concerted effort of all of us, including our personal security. But most importantly, the security that we have now must be up to the task. And I'm happy that we have seen CCTV cameras all over. We have seen drone technology. We have seen situations where even as we are speaking, I'm sure that if anybody commits crime, the police can sit in their room and know what is happening, especially on the street. All those technologies have come. I mean, technology is playing a very big role. We have seen the GPS address system, the Ghana Post GPS address system, where you can be traced to your house if you commit such crime and all that. I mean, there has been a little bit of improvement in our security system. Not that we have reached, or we are a finished article. Even the US, where a lot of their GDP is invested in security, that is a place where a lot of is a more or less the hub of insecurity, even though they are the people that invest so much in security. So we should not panic and put our hands in despair and think that all is gloomy and therefore there is no way out. The government is doing its bit. The civilians or the citizens must also do its bit. In the past, we have seen people murder upon murder. We have seen chiefs murdered. We have seen MPs murdered. We have seen even regional chairmen murdered. We have seen district chief executives murdered in this country. And even businessmen, bank managers, all of them, have murdered in this country. And a lot of it is this a contract killings. People just want to kill one in order that they will shortchange the person because of business and other considerations, and even sometimes chieftaincy dispute and all that. But that does not mean that those days the security situation was at its lowest ebb. We knew that once in a while, especially when the person that is murdered is a high-profile person, It will arrest the attention of the whole nation, where the security discussion will come to the fore. But let's not, for the sake of politics or whatever reason, try to create a situation where an impression will be created as if, we have come to our end, our dead end, and therefore there's nothing that we can do. There are a lot of things that we can do.
Yeah, it tells us something that within this period, like we're seeing it as often as before.
Yeah, I understand that. Especially, you can mention the professor at the University of Ghana.
Absolutely, you can mention the PRO at the port.
Yeah,
you can mention
the MF,
our own JB, Ameswale, Fenekoche.
No, JB was a while ago.
Okay,
it was in 2016.
Okay, and Fenekoche was also a while ago.
No, Fenekoche was in
Mohammed's time.
Yeah.
Okay, no, but I mean even cumulatively.
Yeah.
But if you look at from 20, let's say 2016.
Kwame, that is the reason why. That is the reason why, as politicians, we should eschew misguided statements. If you don't intend a statement, don't say it.
What do you mean by that?
No, I'm coming.
What do you mean by that?
No, I'm coming. Don't you understand what that means?
No. If you say that, what is the misguided statement?
So that is the reason why I said I'm coming.
Okay.
You see, we have seen situations where politicians make misguided statements like, we will create
so
a condition of hysteria. We should create a condition of Armageddon, so that people will, so that the government will be in bad lights, so that we'll create bad name for the government by ensuring that we'll do ABCD. It came in a tape. We saw that, we heard the tape and all that. If you don't intend to do so, don't even say it, even in the remotest of places. But once you say it, a criminal can take advantage of the misguided statement to go and commit that mayhem, and then you will bear the brunt.
Okay, so you can still find the same fault in your party as well.
Ameswale's
death.
No, I'm coming.
Occasion as a result of a very
so it's general. I mean, yeah.
A worse misguided statement that was made by a member of parliament.
Not
absolutely
justify that.
So let's I
cannot, because I haven't mentioned anybody's.
You should put parity.
Yeah. I cannot justify that in any.
No, but I just want the admission that it cuts across the board. It's not only peculiar or specific to one political party. Absolutely,
it cuts across. Especially when you say that you will make the nation ungovernable. It will make criminals, it will give, it will create heaven for criminals to now, perpetrate, or make the grounds propitious enough for them to create mayhem. And that is the reason why I have always condemned misguided statements, even if you make it in the secret of places.
But I would beg to disagree with you, with the greatest of respect, that the fact that somebody has made a statement will be that which will embolden people to commit some atrocities, because we do know that even worse things were said previously, which worse things never led to people committing crimes or murdering people because of a statement that was made. I do recall that, that there was a statement that was made that Ghana would be like Afghanistan and things like that. Nobody latched onto that and started throwing bombs in Ghana because somebody said Ghana should be like Afghanistan. Why don't we perhaps move away from that conversation and come to the admission, which is a reality that is staring us in our faces, that perhaps there's more that we need to do in respect of our security system in this country. Primarily also, people have alleged that the insecurity we have in this country is as a result of the way and manner in which we have tried, to get some party people into our security system. Particularly when we have not been able to properly scrutinize these guys, particularly when these people have demonstrated that they are very heretic to the law, and that they at all material times, if things does not work in their own favor, to their advantage, they will take the law into their own hands and do whatever they feel is right for them. I can cite a number of examples. So perhaps, why don't we look at these issues as opposed to words that have been said by somebody?
No, easy.
Also, issue about landguardism and the fact that members of parliament and ministers and political party leaders give guns to people to protect their properties. Now, These people protect their properties during the day. In the night, what do they use those weapons for? These are questions that we must begin to.
Yeah, but Kwame,
yes, sir. You also want to respectfully disagree with me, no problem.
No, I would disagree with your premise.
Okay.
Premise that where's misguided statements were made, and then the consequences were less than it is today.
Not even felt at all.
Yeah.
Because if Ghana would be like Afghanistan.
You see, I'm disagreeing with all that. Well, even there was nothing like Ghana would be Afghanistan.
Oh.
No.
Nobody made that statement.
No. You see, what was said, it was even Cabo who said it, was that if the elections are stolen, just like your mama said that they will not accept flawed elections, or just like when Professor Mills said that if the elections were stolen, Ghana will be like Kenya. You didn't mention that one.
What happened in Kenya? Was there any war in Kenya?
You don't know?
What happened?
You don't know the war that happened in Kenya is more serious than what happened in Cote d'Ivoire and even Afghanistan. The war that happened in Kenya, you've forgotten or you don't know? Okay, well, let's take it that you don't.
No, that's the confusion because I don't remember Professor Mills making that statement. But
you don't remember?
I don't remember Professor Mills making that statement.
Said if the elections are stolen from them, Ghana will be like Kenya.
Okay.
That time Kenya was in turmoil.
Fantastic, but it
even led to them sharing power.
Absolutely.
So I'm saying that
was a protracted court matter. Is it not Ralo Odinga and
beyond that? No court matter.
Beyond that.
Please,
hold on.
It was a war.
The point I'm trying to establish and I'm submitting to you that unguided statements do not necessarily lead people to commit crimes because of statements that have been made by people.
So you use the word.
I'm saying that it's
not necessarily, but it does.
I don't have any facts to back because you don't have any evidence to back the claim that you're making. But the evidence that I have,
you know the reason why I even made that because I don't want to be categorical that the person, the author of that statement is a reason or is the cause of the action.
No, but you can't.
I don't want to. Yes, that is the reason why I am saying that even if you are not prepared to do what you are professing, don't even say it at all because you are not prepared.
So was President Akufo-Addo prepared to die when he said all die be die?
Oh, but is it a statement of fact or not?
But was he prepared to die?
Is he the inventor of that statement?
Was he prepared to die?
Is he the inventor of the word all that?
Was he prepared to die? I don't want us to.
No, I
don't want us to dwell so much. I don't want us to dwell so much.
You get a statement, and I'm attacking that statement.
No, but
let me finish attacking it. Then you can come with it.
No, but the president said all that. But I'm asking if he was willing. Was he willing to die himself?
No, see.
When he said all that,
even the all that was taken out of context.
But was he willing to die?
It was completely out of context.
Was he willing to die?
And I'm saying that if you die in the cause that you believe in, I think that is martyrdom. Oh yeah.
So he was willing
to die in the cause, like the judges that died, like the religious, prophets that died in their those were martyrs, and they believe sometimes all die be die is important. But I'm saying that in the case of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, it was completely taken out of context, as usual by our brothers in the NDC. But we are talking about insecurity, we are talking about a situation where people are murdered and all that. And we have come to that conclusion that this is not uncommon in the past.
But it's more pervasive now.
No, I mean, how?
Look at the number of deaths we've recorded, contract killings we've recorded within this period.
Yes.
Now, Saka, let's not.
These are high-profile killings.
Absolutely. Let's not play the ostrich. It is precisely the case which led to some of us joining a certain demonstration that was staged by some, members of members of some political parties and some well-meaning Ghanaians, who intimated that with the way things were going, we're heading to a point where the state of insecurity will be so monumental that we may not be able to address the issues going forward. You remember Agbewa demonstration? I was part of that demonstration. We consistently, without fail, made the point that government needed at the time to address the issue of vigilantism. Now, all these people that you're referring to, where are they? All these vigilantes that you're talking about, where are they?
See,
I'm saying that the point I'm trying to arrive at, and Saka, please, let's have an open conversation.
No, we are having it.
Let's be genuine about some of these things.
We are having it.
That we cannot sit here and pretend as though these hoodlums who have found their way into the security agencies and all of that are perhaps part of the people who are being used to perpetrate some of these heinous crimes. And you have admitted here that we should not sit here and think that what happened in Mankesim was a robbery and that it was perhaps staged. And I'm saying that if it was staged, for persons who could carry out this operation so professionally, we should know that there are some, perhaps training given to these people, for which reason they are able to carry out their operations in such a swift manner. So let's not sit here and pretend as though...
No, I get your argument, but I don't understand it in this context to mean disagreeing with me.
No, you are talking about misguided statement. I'm talking about statements of fact. Because misguided statement now, we don't have any evidence to back the argument that we're making.
Kwame,
so we can only conjecture. You are conjecturing now.
In your submission.
I'm not submitting, I'm only asking you questions.
Oh, no. It was a submission. In your submission, you said that you even brought about land guidism and all those things.
Absolutely.
As if government is not doing anything about it. Nobody is saying that, a murdering of one person is a problem. It's not a problem. Even if it is one person for a whole 10 years.
Absolutely.
It's still a problem. But I'm saying that those people that died within some few months, it's unfortunate. But we have crime. You see, when we are talking about insecurity, it's not only about murder. Insecurity involves armed robbery, rape, and all that. The police have their records. And if you do look at the records, the record has not shown that there has been increase in insecurity or increase in crime. Indeed, the crime rate has actually reduced. Just that once there is a high profile killing, it brings about a discussion that overwhelms people, and then people will now think that, oh, maybe crime rather is increasing. But the opposite is the case. If you look at the Vigilante and Other Offences Act 999, it spells all these things. And then the route and the punishment that will be meted out to such people. If it's about creation of jobs, that some people think that, okay, there's armed robbery because there's no work to do. You go everywhere, anywhere in the world, armed robbery is there. But it doesn't mean, because you cannot have a situation where you have zero unemployment. You will definitely have a situation where there will be unemployment. And nobody has any excuse to say that because I'm not employed, I have the right to go and kill and then get my livelihood.
I love you. You know why? Do you know why I love you?
No, I don't know.
Because you have a way of not addressing the issues.
What are they?
Why are you saying that? You have found a way of obfuscating the matters. I have specifically raised some issues, but you have deliberately.
What are those?
No, it's okay. Let me come to Gabby.
No.
You have spent almost 30 minutes.
Just mention the issue.
It's okay. Gabby, let me come to you. Let me come to you, Gabby. I told you about Agbe demonstration. I told you about
demonstration.
You never.
It was a political demonstration.
I'm telling that. But what occasioned that? That's the question I asked.
It was occasioned because some people want to assume power.
No.
And you decided
as a result of the insecurity that was, rearing its head at the time, for which reason the people found...
So hasn't the government been able to actually bring the Vigilante and Other Offences Act to ensure that such people...
So those people, where are they now? Those are the guys committing these crimes on our roads. Gabby, let me come to you.
How can you come to that conclusion?
So how can you come to the conclusion?
No system of evidence to say that those are the people.
Fantastic. So how do you then say that misguided statements...
And you even said that the way the police are recruited and all that.
Yes.
I don't know. You are now telling us that the police recruitment now is very...
don't you have protocol list?
Haven't there ever been...
Is it the right thing to do?
They have always been political.
Are there better Ghanaians than others?
There have always been this list.
Are there better Ghanaians than others?
I am saying that since Kwame Nkrumah,
and I'm asking you.
That list has always been there.
I'm asking you, is it the best practice?
I am saying that list, you cannot do anything.
Is it the best practice? That is why you have some policemen who are armed robbers and things like that. My father was a policeman.
So was he an armed robber?
And I can doff my hat out that
was he an armed robber?
Somebody who
he was not.
He said for 30.
So why would you say somebody's father?
Haven't you
armed robber?
Are you serious, sir?
No. I mean, why?
Haven't you read just last 2 weeks that the policeman was involved in an armed robbery operation. What are you talking about?
So do you know when that policeman was recruited?
Don't come and sit here and be...
When that
no, you're actually getting me upset. Because you know what I'm saying is the truth. That there are some policemen who are involved in armed robbery, operations. And I'm telling you that that's what it is. And I'm saying that perhaps it's because of the kind of training that they are being introduced to at this material moment, which is why...
Why do you use the word at this particular moment?
The people,
when you don't know when that police person was recruited.
People who have been in active service
if
for
that policeman was recruited 10 years ago.
Hold on.
Then you are saying at this particular
But
moment.
the people who have been in active service for over 30 something years, do you think they will go and rob to put their integrity on?
So you are not conjecturing?
I'm not conjecturing. I'm giving you
facts. If you stay long in the police service, you cannot rob.
I'm giving you facts.
Is that what you're saying?
Is that what... Have you ever seen or heard at the time that people who have served in 30 years have been involved in any robbery attack?
Why not?
When? Where do you read that? Where do you read that?
Why not?
Mostly you find that these people who joined like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago.
Criminal, irrespective of his age. If he's a
but
criminal,
at least there's enough evidence to prove that those people who have been in service for long do not involve themselves.
It is because they are young, energetic.
Absolutely. So those are the ones who are Let me come to you, Gabriela. Gabriela, let's hear from you. Saka, today I'm not having that. Gabi.
Kwame.
Yeah.
What's the topic again? Since he's digressed us so far.
No, the topic
at
is
what cost of research. This is my first time commenting on this issue since the news broke. So let me extend my condolences to the family of the bereaved. I find it it's most unfortunate and such a painful way to die for somebody going on campaign to have their lives taken from them. But Kwame, I want to read something from the National Justice. Infantiman MP was shot by contract killers, not armed robbers, according to Kennedy Japan. But there's this paragraph. It says, the legislator also revealed that prior to the death of the MP Elvis Morris Donko, who is the current MP for Abra Asebu Kwamankesi constituency, had received a call from some unknown person warning him about threats to his life. He said Mr. Donko had also been urged to call the late Infantiman MP and NPP parliamentary candidate for Ejumaku Enyan Esiam constituency, since their lives were also in danger. So, this is actually a straightforward matter. If somebody called this MP to inform him that there were some people after he and the Infantiman MP, then there should be a call trail. So why don't we have news of somebody being picked up for alerting these two men that their lives were in danger? For that whoever made that phone call to then lead them to whoever killed this gentleman. It's a very straightforward matter if it is contract killing. But let's talk about armed robbery, because right now there's been an increase in the spirit of armed robbery in this country, and it is very worrying. Last week, Honorable Alex Mold's team in Kumasi were attacked.
A Girata or something like that.
Yes. And I hear this dawn, there was also another exchange of fire between the police and armed robbers, and 2 died. A policeman was injured. There was
Some of the armed robbers died.
Yes.
So they killed the armed robbers.
Yes.
Kudos to the police.
And one person was injured.
Of course, kudos to the
They've I mean, the security services, I must say, have to be up and doing, going into being an election, being so close to the elections. Everybody knows that there's a time when politicians are moving about and they may be carrying small monies on them and all that, and are very liable to be exposed to this kind of things. So the police ought to be up and doing. But I also find it strange. If you have traveled on the Cape Coast road,
there's so many police
barriers. Every 15 kilometer, 20 kilometer, there's a police barrier waiting for you.
It makes me happy though.
And they'll tell you that there are different districts and the different district commands. I know that road is an armed robbery prone road, because when you travel even around Potting area, those areas where there's a bit of darkness and you are out of village or town or towns, are always areas that are susceptible to armed robbery attacks. But in this MP's case, the eyewitness who has been calling the media houses or who is being interviewed by the media
guy, the story doesn't add up.
I don't understand.
I got the story doesn't add up.
How was it that you said the man was told to lie on the floor?
Exactly.
And was shot, but
Exactly.
then there's blood on the car seat.
Yes.
No, the car seat. I think that one was
The driver.
No,
Who also
the
eventually
driver,
died?
the driver seat.
The driver is not dead.
He died.
The driver died.
When?
He died.
The
No,
following day.
it's not true.
He died.
No.
The driver's seat is bloodied.
No.
The
Why?
He
passenger
went,
seat
he
is
went into
bloodied.
coma. No. Oh, come on. He went into coma.
He's revived.
Yes. He went into coma. No, he's not been. But he went into coma. He's not dead yet. So let's not. Yeah, he's not
Oh,
dead.
but the media reported
That
that
was
he had
no,
died.
No.
He was dead.
I heard that too, and I'm telling you that I think yesterday or so that I heard that he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't.
Thank God.
And in fact, I was actually very up. No, I was coming from my village on
Maybe he'll tell us.
on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I was coming.
He will
When I was
tell us
driving,
the
I was listening to the
real
news,
story.
What happened?
and then they said that he wasn't. I mean, he didn't die, but the reporter was actually giving out the hospital, and I was telling just this is so unprofessional. Because if it was contract killing, for instance, they will go after the driver so that the driver doesn't give the information. You get it? So why do you now put out the hospital where he is currently?
The journalists, they are
You get my argument.
Anyway, we are running out of time, so you let's
It's not
continue
only
that
the driver.
discussion.
There were a lot of people.
Brother, but the driver would be in the best position to know.
There were other people with the driver, and they
So-
were not also killed.
So I think that this is a straightforward matter. It should be easy to get the perpetrators of this act. But the eyewitness also said something, that before the
The
armed
eyewitness
robbers,
was not there when he was shot. Because he said he ran into the bush.
That is what I don't
but
get.
the armed robbers,
He crawled into the.
You know, he said he ran into the bush.
and there were people in the bush who were also whispering.
Can you imagine?
So all those people who are whispering should also come and say what happened.
Again.
Listen there.
He came when they left. But the other thing that also interests me is, according to him, he says that before they shot the gentleman, they asked who he was. And when he mentioned who he was, they said, so they are the ones responsible for the hardship
Say
in
you, the politicians.
in Ghana.
Yes.
But it's something that I think we all, as politicians, ought to take very seriously. We are living in a regime where, unfortunately, there's so much opulence by the political class.
If you don't do politics, you won't be happy.
People get into political office, and within such a short time, they've acquired so much wealth. To the ordinary gentleman or lady who is scratching 7 to what's the working hours? 8 to 5. You know, with a monthly salary, and that's all that they
So
get.
you are creating.
Oh, let her make. Why
You are creating the ground for more robberies.
Let her make a
You
point.
see what you are doing? You are telling the robbers that they were right.
Can it be same for your? Can same be said for yourself?
You cannot justify their action.
You know,
But you justified it.
I was going to.
You
cut
justified
off
it.
and
You said
you
misguided statement, so you
When
justified
I'm
it.
done,
Let
those
her
are
make a
comments you
point.
were making about the tape. You see what I come and tell you when I'm done with my so Kwame. There are people who are scratching a normal 8 to 5, and even at the time of going to retirement, are unable to make it at the rate at which we, the politicians, are able to acquire in such short time.
You are not on the side of the robbers.
I am no. I'm explaining something. I'm not on the side of armed robbery. Armed robbery is evil. Look, we are all armed robbers.
No, you alone.
We are all armed robbers. When, as politicians, we take
From the people,
from the people and make sure that we are comfortable
they are
at
not.
their expense. We are also stealing from
At
them.
the expense of the armed robbers.
We are stealing from them, and we are the ones turning them into armed robbers.
Absolutely.
If we were to build a just and fair society, but then if there's a fair society and you have a law enforcement that is also punitive, you minimize those numbers. Kwame,
Yeah.
we as leaders ought to take the welfare of people, irrespective of political leanings, very seriously. In our utterances, as Saka said earlier, we should build a society where we're able to speak the truth to power, where political leadership is beginning to be too monetized, we should be the ones to tell our fellow politicians that, look, where we are taking this thing is not going to augur well for us. It's going to make our politics expensive. And to the common man who looks at us and thinks that this will they have money. Yes, they went street campaigning and we're giving out flyers of the manifesto. There's this gentleman who was passing by and told me that you instead of standing and giving me a copy of your manifesto, put 50 cedis inside so that, like the police, when I'm passing, you just pass it on to me.
Well, probably you did.
So I asked him, but that would mean that I'm buying your vote.
Yeah.
He said yes. I said no. That is not how I should buy your vote. Go and read what is in the manifesto. When we tell you that we are giving small businesses tax incentives, we are giving you money. When we said that we are coming to have an apprenticeship program, it means we are coming to give your people training and set them up. We are saving you the money. So this paper alone is giving you much more money than I can possibly even give you. But the mindset is that when you see a politician, it must be physical cash. And that is wrong. That is why they will look at us and think that we are the cause of the problem. Ghana is a developing country. If we allow resources to be distributed evenly, everybody will stand a chance. Now, Saka, you were going on and on about a tape. Were we not in this country? 2000.
About which tape?
When women were murdered on the streets of Ghana, were we not in this country?
Yeah, we're in this country.
How can you not comment about that one?
So,
was it somebody who was speaking, or were those ones real? People were actually murdered.
So add it.
2008 elections. Were they not the same people who were also caught on tape, claiming that they were going to pack the streets with dead bodies?
It's not true.
Was it not them?
It's not true. It was a lie.
It was which lie?
You talk.
It was which lie? That one there is a lie.
Please.
But the tape there wasn't a lie.
Go on, so that Adia can also look at this issue for me.
So if it's about who says and who does, we know the people who only blow hot air, and then we know the people who actually do these ones. So if you come and sit here and make mess about a tape.
Was talking about
which tape are you referring to?
On the street.
Let's allow
That we should go to the morgue. It's like they should go to the morgue and take dead bodies and come and litter the streets with dead bodies to scare the people of Ghana. That one there's a lie. We were all in this country. If today what's the word? Not exorbitant. The flashy lifestyle of your politicians,
the flamboyant
lifestyle of your government appointees.
Which ones?
Your government appointees.
Which of them?
It's making the people who are
which government appointee?
Your current administration is making the people of Ghana. I don't like it. It's a serious matter. I'm making the people of Ghana look at we the politicians and think that we are a selfish, greedy bunch of people who only think about ourselves.
But are you not? Are people not?
When your mama was giving the
that we are selfish,
both side to the brother, is it not selfishness?
Bunch of people
is it not selfishness?
Who are only interested in ourselves.
What
that is the end result. Now, since you have decided to go and bring this matter,
what's that?
Since you have decided to go and bring this matter, question number 1: is Ibrahim Mahama engaged in mining activities in Ghana?
Yes.
Question.
Yes.
Answer.
Kwame has answered.
Answer. I didn't ask.
Kwame has answered it.
So Kwame is now your lawyer.
Kwame has
very well.
It.
Does he have the capacity to mine bauxite in Ghana?
But you can't take it illegally.
Yes. That one that you understand.
Illegal.
Because
they started the process from 2013.
The court overruled.
They started the process from 2013.
The court overruled.
Please, stay on. Thank you. I think you are digressing. Conclude for me.
Saka.
They started from 2013. He applied for it. He went and did exploration.
So should have gone to the court.
The one that they pick the samples and they go and test to see the quantity of ore from dust that they can process and what they can actually get, whether it's valuable or not. They went through all those processes.
So the court
if 2017, the court decided that they will not let it stand. But it don't make it sound like the president went and told his brother, collect bauxite. Look.
Then you come and talk.
Saka. I don't like what you're doing.
So long as a Ghanaian can do a job, it doesn't matter whether the person is your great-grand auntie or your grandfather. If they are putting their money there, they are the ones bringing in the investment, and it's not going to cost government. I am all for it. I am, however, against a system that only puts its own family and friends, 51 of them, into political positions at the expense of the majority of Ghanaians who even fought for political power for those people. Not the difference.
Thank you, Adia, please.
Yes. Killers at all costs or be sacked. Ado to the IGP. I think.
That's a threat.
Let me express my
that's a threat.
Condolences to
sue the president for
the bereaved family, especially the wife and the old lady. And the mother is about 80 or 70 something. Yeah. It's an unfortunate incident. I was in Kumasi when I heard it. I couldn't believe my eyes. I had to sort of make some checks. I remember 2 weeks ago they put up on social media that Ali Nuhu, one Nollywood, is it this Nigerian Kanowood, is it Kano actor?
Kanayo.
No.
Oh,
one of them
Nollywood.
that died. If you go on Google to your bed, if you read the story, that is a film that they watched and he was shot. So I thought maybe it was one of these movies. So I made some few calls and then saw the pickup. Was it the car that he was in, the blood? And I asked myself, why? Why should this happen? Is it armed robbery or contract killing? Because if it's armed robbery, you take the money and then leave the people. Even though we have space of armed robbery that involves maybe people being killed, but I think the way and manner they treated this MP, in fact, it was terrible. Likewise, other people who were killed by armed robbers. So my take on this is that the security agencies must get the perpetrators of this act, not just this one, but including Ameswala. Is it Swale?
Swale.
We have the one DC around the Nkwanta side. That was during the NDC era. All unresolved issues. This should be the turning point, because this is a young man, very, very enterprising. People in his constituency, the way they were wailing. In fact, I had to switch off my TV. I said, no, this one I cannot stand it. I remember in 2000 and during the stadium disaster, I was watching Carl Tofo. He had to go off air abruptly because of the number of people that were killed. That was what happened to me that day. Even though I'm not a journalist, I was watching in the comfort of my house. In fact, Kwame, IGP, if you are watching me, I'm supporting the president 100% on this one. It's not a threat. To me, wait, it's not a threat. Because if it's anything at all, we live in a country where people are being killed, and then we don't get any results. Nobody is arrested. Nobody is punished. And you leave the family of those dead people suffering. There will be an endowment fund for them for some few months, and then we don't even know what is happening to those family. Nobody is checking on the family of the policemen who were killed. Some were even involved in an accident with a dispatch. We have to have a system whereby in such matters the family should know that maybe the person really worked for the state. You understand? If not, say, hey, politics, don't do politics. So your father was killed because he's an MP. Your father was killed because he was a policeman. Your father was killed because he was a soldier man. What are we doing to the family of apart from maybe the cameras being there, giving the promises and what have you? We are going to give 200 million, that's or 20,000 old Ghana cedis to a life. I support what Saka said. We should have even said that Ghanaians, enough is enough. Everybody is contributing 10 Ghana cedis to the police. We will get about 10 million Ghana cedis. Anybody who is able to give us a clue on people who killed this MP, maybe arresting those perpetrators will lead to so many discoveries.
Yeah.
Unresolved issues.
Yeah, you never know.
You understand? Who knows? That can help. So I think the IGP and his men and women should be up and doing. Let's arrest the people, punish them, and then all the unresolved thing that we say that we have arrested this, we are investigating, we're looking for forensic, what, is delaying. You see, if you do that, the armed robbers or the criminals are emboldened. Because they said, after all, when we did it, they didn't arrest us. They don't go catch us. Look at the people who killed the policeman in Kaswa. What is their lesson?
And I think the matter is still in court.
In court. Why? Why should we waste time? When there's evidence, circumstantial evidence, the lawyers will say, is that the correct?
This is circumstantial. These are real
evidence. Yeah. You see, so why do we waste time and say court? You will go to court and go and come, as somebody will say. I think. Oh, you see, me, my boy is doing law. My boy is doing law. I was telling him, then he will say, at times he will go to court, then he come and tell me he doesn't even understand why cases are being delayed like that. Because if you delay, then you are sort of.
Sometimes
and then the armed robbers will start changing their story. If they watch Pan-African today and they don't like Hajia, oh, the last time I spoke with Hajia, she was the one who said I should go and do this. You give them chance for people to even pollute their minds, and then be changing their stories every day.
Anyway,
I think we should try as much as we can. If there's enough evidence on a case,
justice denied.
You see, if there's enough evidence, like the policeman who was killed, they saw the man Gani holding the gun, killing the police. So what stops the authority from further prosecution? And then maybe if it's jail or maybe hanging by death by hanging or what, depending on what the law says, then we do that. Because if you're not punishing people, this will continue. An arm of the bill, because you see, the two of them didn't even touch the problem about the MPs requesting for security. I'm for it. But I think Gabriela, where the man was killed is not the main road, though.
No.
You see, there's a bypass, Mankesim. Is that not the place? Then I remember when I was going to Ashanti region. Do you know? I passed through I only met one car.
Yeah.
So it's terrible. Yes, and now they are doing it. The time I passed it, there were some 2 machines on the road, but it's terrible. So I was asking the one driving me, I said, hey, why did we even pass here? If something happens to us, nobody will come and help you. We only met one taxi. It passed at the opposite direction. So I said to myself, we got to a place, it's just forest, thick forest. And I was like, hey, and you have my posters on the vehicle. So me, since last week, even before the death of the MP, I said, I won't sell my soul. I'll go for campaign, but I won't put banners or poster on my car because it attracts people. You understand?
But
it
you have
attracts
some money on you.
Yes, it attracts people. So me, I said, fine. The worst I can do is to put a flag flying. You see, people, you even know which. Now that these people have put the Owusu on us, you see, this is our color, and they added black. You see, so they will even
added black.
This one.
That's easy.
You see, so you be seeing the thing doing this. You don't even know whether it's even that one is risky because if people will not come to power, maybe they will even mistakenly take us as NDC.
So you won't come to power.
No, I said we have not come to power. Oh, we won't come to power. What do you mean by that? No, and I'm sitting here talking in the morning. I'm supposed to be eating my fufu by this time, but I'm here talking for. So I think MPs too. I think this is the peak of the campaign, but I think we should try and finish whatever we are doing during the day, so that we don't travel deep into the night. Okay. Because I'm also guilty of that. I was telling you off. Well, I went to Nandong. When we were coming back, we tried to use a shortcut, and then in fact we got missing. We appeared in some bush. Finally we came to a barrier. So the man picked and said, "Oh, Hajia, no, you can't go." And I said, "Why?" There's some armed robbery listing in front there, so they had to put a policeman in my car. So I got down and went to the back seat, and he sat in front. And when we got to Wa, he said, "Hajia, are you going to sleep?" I said, "No, I'm going to Damango." No. you have to go to your hotel and sleep and leave in the morning. And I said, hey, no, Aja. So even the police are aware that politicians are at risk. So maybe if you get to a barrier and you are advised by a police, don't say that the police is trying to waste your time. In fact, I listened to that advice. And then, not today, more than 10, 15 years, they are doing it. Yes, they are doing it, which is very, very important. You see, I was in Kumasi last week. Or is it this week? Today is what?
Yeah. Today is
as I was telling
Tuesday,
you.
Yeah.
Yes. The Ashanti region people said I should tell you they are watching. They like your show. Sandra Educhum, Sandra Owusu, and then Gladys Oziza. Nice. They are very lovely girls who are helping the CPP. That they really admire our show. Thanks. So I thank Ashanti. You know the Ashanti region voted for me. Oh, hey, Ashanti region, they don't joke with me at all. But I don't fufu in there. So I think we should all speak with one voice when it comes to this kind of issue. As for armed robbers, they don't care whether you are NDC, MPP, CPP, PPP, all the P's and C's and D's, they don't care. We are all at risk. What can we do? I think the security conscience of ourselves should be paramount. We should be the first people to say, what can I do to prevent or to protect myself? Okay. But for me, I support the giving. We have 275. I'm not saying the MPs' lives are more important than us. No. Whilst we protect our legislature, I think we should protect the citizenry too. We should give much attention to the security of our people, including the MPs. If the MPs are saying they need security, why not? Because some of them who are ministers have the police men and women already. So the rest should be given security too. Because I'm sure the leadership of the House too, politicians too, journalists too, all of us need protection. So I think if the police, if you look at the police ratio to maybe, is it over 10,000 to 1?
Yeah.
You have
10,000 to 1, yeah.
Yeah. What can we do? We have youth unemployment. Can we increase the police intake in such a way that we have more security people out there to give us protection? The MP's case is really sad. And you see, Gabriela touched on something. And I've always been saying it for more than 4 or 3 years that I come to this show. That politicians, we should also be modest in our
expenditures.
Not just our activities. Because if you behave in a way that, let me say, a person just, I don't want to mention any profession, enter parliament 2 years, 3 years, they see you in a very big Land Cruiser, they say, anyway, they want Nasinya, he has a lot. But that doesn't mean that you should take arms against our politicians, you see. But I think we too should try and be
modest.
Modest. As for me, I'm modest because this is the way I'm dressing from day one. As for the clothes, there is there, they will give it to you. Even if they want, your sisters and brothers will buy for you and say, since you come to Pan-African TV, I want you to be in this. But I think there's something fundamentally wrong.
She's not modest at all.
You see, wrong with the system. You see, with the system, what can we do? And then these armed robbers that we are always told that have been arrested, what have they done with them? What have they done with them? Let's look at our laws. If the laws is not maybe on the side of the ordinary Ghanaian, let's look at the laws and change them. Because people cannot kill people. You arrest them, they say, oh, human rights, human rights. So the one who died, he or she has no human rights. He has no rights. You see, we have to look at all those things and then punish them properly. Punish them. I remember when we were kids at Champions time, if they arrest armed robbers, do you know what they do to them? Should I tell you? Blocks, they carry. Bolgana yiga, Bolgana, do you know the meaning of that?
No.
Or you're going the Bolga thieves. Oh, they will drill them.
So it was even happening in what?
They will drill them. You see, then they know that this is an armed robber. This is an armed robber. This is an armed robber. But now if you're going to do this, so human rights. Meanwhile, they have killed somebody.
The volunteers who were arrested.
I'm telling you.
Not the real security.
And then people are aware now because of social media. You see, the world is evolving. People now know. But people were killed, those days. But because no media, nothing. The only radio that was symbolic was that corner one. No. 3 o'clock. That one at the corner of that where I was staying estate. That was the only news maybe you hear. So I think IGP, and I've never been able to pronounce his. What's his name?
Opom Buenu.
Opom Buenu. Okay.
Very beautiful name.
And very handsome Buenu. Okay. Opom Buenu. He should try as much as he can to. With his men, of course, he alone cannot do it.
Okay.
And it happened in the central region.
Yeah.
I had the PRO of the central region, something Abana, who came to really explain the circumstances that led to the death of them. But wow, the person that I want the police to really pick is the one who was giving this narration. They said he should lie down here, and he jumped here, so he shot him, and then
He didn't even witness anything.
It's inconsistent.
So, no, you see, let me tell you about people. You see, those watching us, you should be very, very careful. If something happens, you want to be the first person to give the story. Maybe you don't know you are even putting yourself in trouble. Because I don't understand. You don't know anything. Then you come and be still. And then the one who also said his truck was stopped, the one in the singlet. He's also the narration. I couldn't get a head and tail of it. If I'm the one investigating, I'll just pick him. And the one who went and showed the place, and I was told her, he came here, then he jumped in. I don't. Meanwhile, the blood, everything was in the car. In fact, those who killed the MP really wanted to kill him. It's not about them taking money. Look at the holes in his car.
Because it's surprising to me that the gentleman said the robbers told the MP that we are not after your life. I don't know if you heard that. That the man said we are not after your life, and then soon after that he's shot. Doesn't make sense.
We are not after your lives.
Yeah.
It was not about the MP alone.
That's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm making. But if you say we are not after your lives,
why was he?
Then why was he shot?
Yeah. And he was the only person that
they killed. Yeah. So I mean,
they shot the driver because the driver was retrieving.
That's the account of the gentleman.
So I mean, not only the gentleman, even including those who were lying down with the MP.
He was trying to run away.
Yeah, he was trying, and then they shot the tire. They shot the driver when they went and opened the door and shot him.
These guys are wicked.
In fact, you see the way it's trauma.
They are wicked.
Trauma and cocaine and
these guys are wicked. It's not about trauma.
No, what I'm saying is that what they take, they don't no sympathy.
Hadia, that thing is not true.
I'm telling you,
these guys are criminals. They just want to kill. They just want to kill.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes when they have these things, I'm sure they just, like they are trigger happy. They just want to shoot. No,
look, what I'm saying is that the Kaswa one. If you look at the guy's face, you could see that this one there was shit and pepper.
Hadia, so I don't know. Now, what is so much shit and pepper? No. Don't get me wrong.
For shit and pepper, but
they are very calm. No, of course I know. I have a friend who told me was shit and pepper. I was shocked because I see him to be a gentleman.
You know.
But what I'm saying is that those who do it to go and involve themselves in criminal activity. Also my high, you see that kind of thing. But if you look at people who really smoke, some people I don't want to mention their name, you can see that they are very calm. But even drink or what? Some people drink water and go and misbehave. What about that? I'm only saying that some people are taking
under
I'm not sure you even shoot.
But do you know some people who do that? Later on, they go to sit and think.
I think those guys are criminals.
I'm not saying they are not criminals. They are criminals.
They are just criminals. They are just out there. No, it's serious. They don't have conscience. They don't have brain. They don't have anything. Look, I remember back in the day when I was in KNUST. There was this time that I picked trotro from Achimasafu, heading there. Then we alighted at they parked at Konongo. Yes. Then because we're supposed to be 3 at the back, Then the guy who was loading us added more people. So I was going to tell the guy that, oh, Master, now I don't know, like we are supposed to be three. Why are you? This is overloading.
Yeah.
The guy brought a screwdriver from his pocket and said, if you misbehave, as for me, I don't have a life for me. I say, me my brother, I'm telling you. So then I'm telling you. Yeah. So I just sat quietly.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Even then, he went, bought water and came to splash me with it.
Yeah.
So imagine that guy. He knows he doesn't have a life.
Yeah.
He will spoil yours and go. What can you do?
Oh, but a tipper truck driver.
You know what he said?
For that.
Or send me the one on my friend. I will make myself life. That's what he said. He told me. And we're actually done. My time is up.
But do you know a driver?
IPP's press conference.
Which one?
They are useless press conference.
Okay, let me give two minutes for that, please.
Yesterday, I don't understand why.
I don't
know why the media houses even bothered giving their airtime to these people to come and even discuss what NDC promised to abolish double track, unrealistic, shameless, Kwame.
So you finished?
In our manifesto,
we
are promising the good people of Ghana that when voted into power, we are abolishing the double track within 1 year. Now, how are we going about it? From the data they provided in their press conference, which is filled with inaccuracies, but we use the same data. According to them, there are 721 schools. In actual fact, there are actually 841 secondary schools. 400 of these secondary schools have double track. 1.2 students are in the SHS system currently. So, out of these 400 schools, if we bring in the private sector has about 250 schools. It now opens spaces for us to take students who are on the second shift, the go track, and put them into these private secondary schools. You know, since the introduction of the free SHS, the private secondary schools have been recording low enrollment figures. Some of them have had to close down because it's not profitable to run secondary education for them because of the demand for the public sector schools. So we are bringing on board the private sector schools, which automatically gives us access to 250 schools to place the double track students. E-blocks, which have been uncompleted, we are going to complete all of them through the big push $10 billion policy. We are going to expand the infrastructure in other secondary schools to ensure that we open up spaces in resource centers, laboratories, dormitories, assembly halls, dining halls, to make sure that we have enough space to take up all these students. So, people of Ghana, please, don't even waste your time giving them airtime and letting them bother your ears to come and give you such errant press conferences.
Okay. Thank you very much.
It is.
Adia.
Who's press conference?
MPP.
Oh, look at them. You let them discuss it.
Saka, 1 minute too.
Oh, why?
She spent 1 minute. No.
Oh,
Saka, please don't do that. She spent 1 minute. Please, 1 minute.
She spent 5 minutes.
See,
Kwame. Clearly, you can see that the NDC don't know what they are doing. We are the proponent of free SHS. Indeed, they are the opponent of free SHS.
You cannot be the proponent of
free SHS. Please, I'm coming.
You are the ones who have been able to do it now.
Yeah, we were and we are still.
So you are not.
We gave birth to it.
You didn't give birth to it. It's always been in existence.
You see, we gave birth to it.
But go ahead.
And therefore, we know exactly what we want to do and where we are going with the free SHS.
Yes, my boss.
Indeed, if you look at the free SHS, within the last 3 years, we have had about the current enrollment is at 1.2 million. Before we took over power, the number of students the 3 year within the first year, second year, third year, they were 800. So there has been an addition of 400,000, to the facilities, to the already facilities. As I'm speaking to you, please
allow.
Wait, when you're talking, I was just listening to
you.
But
you interjected at some point, so I'll allow her to interject you small.
You see, did I mention the data here?
You just mentioned the 800. It should be 800,000, not 800.
I'm saying that by the time we took over power, 800,000 with the number, the population of the students in the senior high schools. Now, as we are speaking, it's 1.2 million, which means that an addition of 400,000. 400,000 cannot, the facilities that we have cannot accommodate the 400,000. That in itself tells you that Nana Danso Akufo-Addo has come to do something dramatic. That 400,000 students or people pupils who would have otherwise been left home are now being enrolled in school. It comes in its wake a lot of sacrifices that we need to make, and that sacrifice is that we need to stagger the who goes and who goes at what point, and that is and that is a double track system that we talk. The double track system, it's not an innovation even in Ghana alone. If you go to the US, go to France, South Africa, Kenya, and other places, they are also implementing same.
Kenya has abolished theirs,
but we also abolished ours. When we started, we said that between 5 and 7 years we are going to do it, and later on we even revised it. That depending on the fast pace with which infrastructures are built. Now, currently, as we are speaking, we have built over 1,000 infrastructure within the school system, and I'm telling you, based on the information that we have, within the next 2-3 years, we would have phased out the double track thing. So why is the NDC saying that when they come, they will abolish it?
Thank you very much.
It is a subtle way of telling you that they will abolish the free SHS.
Thank you.
Because they do not even believe in the. They do not even believe in the
when they were talking about this double track, you know,
it's not a constitutional provision. If it were in the constitution, why were you not, adhering to it?
But they wanted to progress.
Why were you not adhering to it?
Thank you very much,
Saka. People come to power.
Thank you, Gabriela.
Stop what you are doing.
Thank you.
Stop what I'm doing.
No, that's what they do. Don't mind them. Let them continue.
We built all the schools that you.
Thank you very much, guys.
Next week, what I'm going to do, I'm just praying.
I know.
I won't allow them to talk on this prayer.
Thank you.
You are lying.
Thank you, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
She's like.